Welcome to the March 19th, 2026 Bedford Board of Education consent agenda meeting. First thing is 1.02, we need to assign a treasurer pro temp. I'd like to make a motion to assign Ms. Carter as our treasurer pro temp for today's meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Motion made by Aiken, seconded by Carter, or seconded by Callender. Roll call, please.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Boynton?
All right. Motion passes 4-0. Roll call, please.
Mr. Akins?
Here.
Mr. Callender?
Here.
Ms. Boynton? Mrs. Carter?
Here.
Mr. Morton?
Here.
Okay. Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we continue, I would like to make an immediate motion to move into a quick executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, motion made by Aiken, seconded by Callender. Roll call, please.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
All right, motion passes 4-0. For our audience, we're going to go to a quick executive session to discuss an important matter, and after that, we will return to follow with the rest of the agenda. right, thanks for waiting, everyone. All right, now I want to make a motion to amend the agenda to add a resolution to the Section 8, new business, a resolution to the agenda to vote on later on in the meeting for the temporary leave of absence for the superintendent. We have a motion to approve.
Second. Motion to approve. Second.
Motion made by Conder, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
No.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion is to be added to the agenda in Section 8 for new business. Moving on, Section 2, one plan goals. 2.01 is acknowledgement of our goals. This can be read at your leisure. 2.02 is our departmental accomplishments update. This again is a living document. You can read this at your leisure of things that are going on within the various departments. So moving on to the approval of minutes. Section 3.01, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the March 5 Bedford Board of Education work session?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion made by Callender, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Board. Next is our consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Callender, seconded by Carter. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Board. Next section is audience participation. Do we have any calls that came through?
We have 3.
Okay. I'll turn it over to you then.
She want to read the card?
Sure.
Did you want to?
Can you pass it down?
I gave her one.
Oh, you gave her one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave you the card if you wanted to read that.
Okay. Yep, I will read.
If you were reading the rules off.
Okay. You pass it down to Mr. Morton.
Visitors are always welcome to our board meetings. If you wish to address the board during the audience participation portion of this meeting, please complete the form and submit to the treasurer. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes. A maximum of 30 minutes will be permitted for public participation at each meeting. No person may speak twice until all who wish to speak have had their opportunity to do so.
Yes, that's it.
Oh. Okay. I'll call them in order which they were received. Mr. Mesnick? The podium.
Joe Mesnick, 6065 Robertdale Road, Oakwood Village. And I asked the question was, how much money has been spent so far on the building project? And has there been an audit?
All right, I'll defer that to our Executive Director of Operations.
Hello. I can find for you the number that has been spent so far of the allocated amount. I don't have that information with me currently. In terms of an audit, I would say that there has not been a formal audit as terms of like an external audit, but in our progress meetings in terms of the construction, the budget is reviewed routinely, so that if that qualifies as an audit, that occurs systematically, but we can certainly find the number that's been spent to date.
So you'll get that number to me?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess just a follow-on, do we have an independent construction manager that's been hired besides Mr. Montgomery? He's the general manager for Panseca, but do we have an independent construction manager following the project?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Harkness?
Good evening. My name is Charles C.J. Harkness. I live at 24388 Staghorn Drive in Bedford Heights. I have a statement, and then I have some questions and requests. My statement is that I am saddened. I have been a fierce defender of this district. My father graduated from Bedford in 1965. I graduated from Bedford in 1995. My daughter, who is here with me, graduated in 2022. And the biggest regret of my life right now is that I did not pull my son out of these schools. The way that we have rolled out this construction project, the way that we have kept these buildings in disrepair has led to an absolute travesty of a senior year for my son. I take responsibility for not making a different decision. My request to you all is to understand that what is happening now is not just going to magically be fixed when we have brand new buildings. Brand new buildings don't invest in programs. Brand new buildings don't hear the needs of teachers that are caught up in email chains of whether or not we can get new equipment for a particular thing that students are doing. And what you see in here today should alarm you. The parents who are really engaged and perhaps wiser than I was have already left the building. They've gone to other districts, they've moved their kids, they've taken resources out of this district in a program that I'm personally against, but understand why others are using it to take dollars to go even to private schools. The challenge is the brand new buildings won't bring them back. If we don't understand and realize that we have to invest not just in the bright lights of the day. I drove past a high school one day when the power was out. The only lights I could see in the building were from the metal detectors. The investment that we have is signaling to us that all we are interested in is the security theater that we have going on. While the roof literally crumbles and falls in. My son, who plans to major in acting, his last show of his senior year, I sat through as those kids worked really hard this weekend. And we couldn't even have a sound system to hear them through because by the time they got to the last show, they just cut it off. I know each of you in different contexts in terms of our board members. I've met you before, some of you I've known most of my life. My issues are not personal. I don't have any call-outs. I just want us to realize that if we don't take seriously right now and stop waiting for the next thing to come, that there will not be a district for us to save. And not only that, but we'll be spending more time continuing just chasing after families who are not oriented towards.
Those are 3 minutes.
My ask is that someone would take accountability and own the fact that we have a plan that has caused this current group of seniors and probably juniors to have absolutely horrible experiences in the high school. And my ask is that someone would figure out and report back to us clearly whether or not all the rain that falls directly into the high school is causing enough mold that they ought not be in some of those spaces.
Personally, I can not agree with you more on everything that you said. New buildings will definitely not fix everything. It takes an administration that's going to also do what needs to be done and make the correct decisions that's going to benefit not only the district, but the community and the students themselves. So we wholeheartedly know it's just not the new buildings, but it has to be what's going on internally as well. So I completely agree with you on that. Anyone else have any comments at all? Okay. I'll turn over to my executive director if you have any comments.
First of all, thank you, sir, for sharing that. I think that there is a tremendous amount of truth in terms of the perspective that you shared and the concern that we have and need to have as a district. We've talked a little bit, I've talked a little bit here about the systems and processes that we need to have operationally, and that without those, I agree that we would repeat a lot of the things that are happening in our current buildings. If we don't have those systems in place, they aren't going to be maintained to the level that our students deserve, and they would end up being in the situation that we have at most or some or all of our buildings, and specifically referencing the types of things that you discussed as in the roof. So the roof is absolutely a major concern. I agree with you. The board approved recently a contract to have all of the active leaks in the high school repaired. I know that that's probably too little too late, so I acknowledge that part, but do want you to please know that we take that seriously and want it to be addressed as soon as we can. In terms of the mold at the high school, we have had quite a number of rooms that have been tested for airborne mold. We had one room that tested high. We tested it twice. We had a visual inspection. When we discovered that that airborne mold was high, we shut down the room until it was professionally remediated. That's been the only room where we have received test results for elevated airborne mold. We continue to test and monitor the building, and I agree with that concern and that sentiment. So, thank you.
Ms. Hurd?
I don't have to say my name at this point. I'm pretty sure you guys know who I am at this point. Mr. Harkness pretty much kind of touched on a lot of the things that I was even going to talk about. He touched on the high school. I guess so I'll focus on like Heskett. My son is in the junior Cavs, and we haven't had working bleachers in Heskett since the first week of February. We continue to sit on chairs to watch the games. So you have a limited amount of family members that you can even invite to come and see your child play. And like I said, he touched on a lot of the things at the high school. I was actually going to talk about as far as like the mold smell. I was there for the Matilda movie last week. It smells like mold in the high school. So, I mean, and like he said, my first daughter graduated in 2022. I've been in this district since 2011, and to see the downward spiral is ridiculous. And as he has stated, as far as like taking your, deciding to have to take your child out of a district that you live in where you pay taxes, to have to figure out another plan is unfair to us as parents. My youngest son is in 3rd grade. I'm already in preparation of thinking of moving him to a different school district because there's no way that I can allow him to continue on in these conditions, the buildings. And then we get every week, I've been at these board meetings every month for all this school year. And I never get any answers. We're still here, buildings are still falling apart. We still have the traffic situation in the morning when you drop your kid off in the morning at the high school. I've seen kids almost get hit 3 or 4 times trying to go across the street just to get into the school, and yet I'm still here every week and nothing is changed. So I would like to be able to, not only for you to keep telling us something, we want to be able to see something. There's nothing that has happened. I come up here every week and I'm frustrated every time I leave here because there's never any accountability, there's never really any answers, and then the answers we get, there's never any solution. Every single board meeting that we come up here and talk and express our concerns or our disdain for the things that are going on in this district. And it's unfair to us as parents, it's unfair to the teachers. I see teachers that I have seen for years, I look at them and they don't even look the same. And I'm not talking about just like a physical, like I can look at them and see that their spirit has changed. And that trickles down into our children. And that's a problem because we leave our children in your hands for the responsibility to teach them. They spend more time during the week with you guys than they are at home. And as a parent, I don't feel like I'm leaving my children in a safe environment. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I'll turn it over to our executive director if you have any comments about that.
A few of the specific things I could comment on. The bleachers at Heskett, we have tried to repair those internally. That's not a repair that our team is able to make. So we are trying to work with a vendor that's a fairly niche market in terms of who is able and licensed to work on some of those things. So we're trying to bring that to a successful conclusion, but I understand and respect the frustration related to the bleachers. In terms of the traffic at the high school, I'm hearing some updates from the team. What I've been told is that the situation has been slowly improving. It's certainly not great, it's not perfect, it's not everything that we would hope that it would be, but that as the routines have started to become more established with the students and the families, that there has been improvement. We talked with the city about the possibility of making Berwyn one-way only for arrival and dismissal. As a team, we didn't think that that was really going to be appropriate in terms of emergency vehicles and their access and traffic routes on Berwyn. So that's really the only update I can give in terms of the traffic.
All right. Thank you so much. Moving on to section 6, the superintendent's report. For this section, we have 4 items on the agenda. I will turn this back over to our Executive Director of Operations if you want to speak on any of the 4 topics to give a brief summary of what they pertain to.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. We bring forward for your consideration agenda item 6.01. This is approval of the 2026-2027 school calendar, which you've seen before and has been open for comment. We also ask for your consideration item 6.02. These are service contracts. There are 2 of them. One is for an electricity purchasing program. This is a cooperative purchasing program for electricity through the Ohio Schools Council. There are, to my knowledge, I think currently 60 school districts that have approved or are in this span of a few weeks approving this agreement with the Ohio Schools Council. So this is similar to what we do with our supply of natural gas. We would continue to receive services through CEI, so that would be our point of contact. We're obviously, feel good about that because they've been very communicative and responsive in terms of the issues that we've had, particularly at the high school through the winter. But this would basically aggregate the purchasing power to the benefit of the districts who are participating. After that is service contracts for the purchase of 2 mowers. We have 4 or 5 that are currently in service, but we would like to retire 2 of them. We also bring forward for your consideration item 6.03. This is a contract with a third party to help us with Medicaid billing, which is a standard contract for us and for districts in terms of trying to recoup some of the costs that we are allowed to bill to Medicaid. Then we have 6.04. This is MOU with certificated personnel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For these items, board, did you want to take them all together or separately? It's the same thing from the last meeting. Okay. Item 6.01, do we have a motion to approve the 2026-2027 school calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion made by Carter, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. Second, 6.02, do we have a motion to approve the service contracts as presented?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second. Motion made by Callender, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. 6.03, motion to approve these service contracts as presented from the Director of Human Resources. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Morton, seconded by Callender. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Next is 6.04. This is a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding as presented. I believe there might have been some questions on there, so I wanted to put it to the board. Do we have any questions on this section before moving to a vote? Okay. All right, do we have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding as presented?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second? All right.
I think we need to have a little bit more discussion about this one. Can we table this?
You table it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this motion will be tabled for further discussion.
We need a motion for a table.
All right. Do we have a motion to table this discussion?
Motion to table.
Second.
All right. Motion to table made by Callender, seconded by Carter. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
No.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 3-1. Thank you, board. Next is our treasurer's report. I'll turn this over to our treasurer to discuss these gifts and donations.
Appreciate you guys for letting me sit in for Taylor this meeting. We have one item. It is approval of gifts to the community resource room.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the donation as presented?
Motion to approve donation.
Second.
Motion made by Carter, seconded by Calendar. Roll call, please.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to our new business, old business, 8.01 is a second reading and approval of the revised board policy. As this is the second reading and approval, do we have a motion to approve the revisions of the board policy?
Motion to approve revisions.
Second.
Motion made by Carter, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. 8.02 is naming of buildings. This is just a discussion. This is to discuss how to handle the naming of the new buildings. We do need to have naming in place by June. I wanted to discuss with the board if you have any suggestions on how we should go about naming the new buildings. Any comments?
Yeah, we could do a survey to get some input from the community.
Okay. A survey? Any other comments?
I agree with Mr. Callender. Just let's put it to the community and get their input also.
Okay. All right, I do agree with that. Having a survey going out to the community to get their input, we can definitely go with that. Thank you, board. Next is our new resolution that was added, so this will be 8.03. This is a motion to approve a resolution for the board to approve the temporary leave of the superintendent and to appoint and approve an individual to serve as superintendent of record on a temporary basis for the purpose of carrying out the duties of superintendent associated during the pendency of such temporary leave. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Calendar, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Abstain.
Akins? Mr. Akins, sorry.
Yes. Motion passes 3-1. Abstain. Thank you, board. Moving on to executive session. At this point, we have one current topic on the table. Before we go on, I would like to make a motion to add a second topic to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, and demotion of or compensation of a public employee to the executive session. Do we have a motion to amend the executive session?
Motion to amend the executive session.
Second.
Motion to amend made by Calendar, seconded by Morton. Roll call, please.
Mr. Callender?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes. Okay, motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. At this point, we'll be moving to executive session. Once we come out, there will be no further business. So at this point, the meeting is adjourned for the rest of the evening. Thank you for coming out, everyone, and have a safe evening.